Welcome to the Marist Young Adult Advent Retreat. I'm BB Chang and I'm your host for this gospel-based retreat. Here's how the retreat works. Each week, you will hear the Sunday Gospel, followed by a reflection from a member of our Marist family. After the reflection, some questions will be presented for your consideration. This week's reflection has been prepared by Danny Chomat, a student at the University of Notre Dame and a graduate of Christopher Columbus High School in Miami, Florida. The season of Advent is a time of hopeful waiting and joyful preparation for the coming of Jesus into our hearts and into our world. As you enter into this retreat, take a moment to quiet yourself. Think of one area in your life where you experience hope. Ask Jesus to enter into your heart during this time of retreat as you pray the following prayer. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus said to his disciples, "As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. In those days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day that Noah entered the ark. They did not know until the flood came and carried them all away. So will it be also at the coming of the Son of Man. 2 men will be out in the field. One will be taken, and one will be left. 2 women will be grinding at the mill. One will be taken, and one will be left. Therefore, stay awake, for you do not know on which day your Lord will come. Be sure of this. If the master of the house had known the hour of night when the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake and not let his house be broken into. So too, you also must be prepared. For at an hour you do not expect, the Son of Man will come."
Hi, my name is Danny Chomat, and I will be giving today's reflection. Today's Gospel says, "Therefore, stay awake, for you do not know on which day your Lord will come." Today's Gospel is all about preparation. Jesus tells us the story of those that have not prepared for the flood because they were too busy doing other things. How often are we the same? How often do we let our schoolwork, relationships, and other aspects of life get in the way of God? Do we fall asleep in reference to our faith? Thanksgiving is past and finals are coming soon. We will get busier and busier as time goes on. But we must prepare for the coming of Christ into our world. We must make time for Christ in our lives. Christ enters our world through the incarnation. He emptied himself, taking the form of a slave. Being born in human likeness and being found in human form, he humbled himself and became obedient. Yet, Christ enters our lives in so many other ways. Every day, Christ is present for us. Are we awake to that presence? We must stay constantly attentive in our faith because we may miss Christ in our own lives. But how do we learn to see him? Christ gives us the example of living in humility. That is how we must prepare, humbling ourselves before the Lord. Are we willing to align our will with God? Marcel and Mary lived this life of humility. They aligned their own will with God's. Can we do the same? It is in this humility that we can acknowledge our dependence on him, and it will allow us to constantly search for him in all that we do. When Christ comes tomorrow, will we be ready? When Christ comes at Christmas, will we be ready? Will we be awake?
Danny reminds us that we must prepare for the coming of Christ despite our busy lives. How will you limit your distractions this Advent? How will you prepare your heart and mind for Christ? Danny also challenges us to be awake to the presence of Christ in our lives. Spend some time reviewing your day. Where was Christ present to you today? Thank God for allowing you to appreciate God's presence in your life. Thanks for participating in the first week of our Marist Young Adult Advent Retreat. If you would like to see today's reading in print, or if you would like to find some additional materials for reflection, please visit the website for the United States Catholic Conference of Bishops at www.usccb.org. Have a great week.